folks, and welcome back to Full Corners of the Galley. I'm your host PBO, and you're joining me on another edition of Totally Binging. This is a show dedicated to all your favorite streaming services and television channels that show off all the different shows that we love to binge and all the different binge culture that goes with it. So, yeah, I break down all the different shows, kind of give you a recap of what's going on, and on this edition, I'm hitting you with a little bit of Atlanta. That's right, folks. Donald Glover and Stephen Glover, his brothers, written and created Atlanta Show, one of the most fundamentally amazing shows that came out in 2006 on the FX network. The brand new season 2 of Atlanta, starting on Thursday. So I wanted to recap season 1, and then also let you know that I'll be doing a episode by episode breakdown every week. Probably the day afterwards, I'll break out a new video. We'll discuss the episode that just happened and move forward to the next one. Alright, so without further ado, let's recap Atlanta. Alright, folks, so I caught onto this show, not the first episode. Well, no, I think I did catch it on the first episode. I heard Donald Glover wrote a show and was doing it about Atlanta, and I was enthralled because I love Donald Glover, and he's amazing, amazing talent. I call him the Swiss Army Man. I think he's absolutely amazing, and this show is absolutely phenomenal. It's phenomenal. It's one of the most smartest written shows out there. I mean, the depths that Donald and his brother Stephen Glover go to, and the exploitation of showing what it's like to being a young black man in America and just dealing with stuff is absolutely amazing. At first, I'm not gonna lie, after the first 2 episodes, what I thought were amazing, I kind of didn't get what the show was going for, and then when the 4th and 5th episode happened, I realized they were just basically showing moments in the lives of these characters that they created, and then it became even more enjoyable for me, and I love this. I absolutely love this show. So, let me give you the basis. So, basically, we have 4 main characters. You have Donald Glover, who plays Earn, and you're following basically Earn's life. Earn is you find out he's a very smart individual who basically dropped out of school and is trying to find his way in his hometown of Atlanta. He also has a daughter by B.A.N, who is his baby mama and girlfriend but not together, played by Miss Zaza Beetz, who's the new Domino in Deadpool 2, so watch out for her, and she's absolutely amazing in this show. And it's their relationship, along with the fact of the matter that his cousin, Paperboy, played by Brian Tyree Henry, who's phenomenal, is a rapper and put out a mixtape called Going Postal, and he's starting to blow up and has gone viral. And also, Paperboy has basically a boy, his roll dog, who does everything. Darius, played by Lakeith Seinfeld, who is killing it out there. You would have seen him in Get Out. He's one of the first people in Get Out, and he's got real famous stuff in that. He's a phenomenal actor. He's going to get way more roles. You follow these 4 and their adventures that they go through and their everyday lives and dealing with stardom and basically like the come up. This season is like the come up of Paperboy and Darius, and Earn and Darius and Earn, and how they're rising from nowhere. He put out a mixtape, it got all hot, everybody knows about his name, so now his name is out there popping, and Earn is trying to help his cousin to get bigger, and that's kind of how you start this whole adventure. So it's a fascinating story. They started off the back. They got the show called The Big Bang. Right off the back, what I love about it is something that I always love is he starts the end of the episode at the beginning, where he's showing you basically the end events that happened at the end of episode 1, and then he goes back and backtracks and shows you how they got to this point where they're basically in the middle of a parking area waiting, and Paperboy's got his gun to this dude who disrespected his car and knocked over his mirror, and he shoots him. All you hear is a gunshot. You have no idea what happened. You just hear a gunshot, and then it retracts exactly what happened, and you get introduced to these amazing characters and their day-to-day lives. This show is absolutely fascinating. So let me just kind of go through. I'm gonna go through the episodes one by one. So you got the Big Bang, which is basically the start of the show, where it's kind of giving you an explanation of showing you how Earn is, and he works this job that he hates, and he's got a kid he's got to take care of, and he's not really leading up to his responsibilities. Then he finds out about his cousin's doing good, so he goes to see his cousin to try to like work it out, and then he goes to see his old. It's just fascinating. I don't want to ruin every little thing, but you just kind of get to meet the personalities and the big Arcendo to the episode, and the big thing that happens is Paperboy's got his gun pulled on this dude, and all you hear is a gunshot go off. You have no idea what truly happens. You just hear a gunshot go off, and the episode ends. It's a beautiful bringing into the show and really showing you who these guys are and kind of what they're dealing with. Then you get to the next episode, which is The Streets on Lock. And this episode, talk about a follow-up to episode 1. And I remember when they premiered it, it was a full 1 hour. So I thought it was the full episode. I didn't know it was 2 episodes. And what a follow-up. Basically, you find that Darius, and Paperboy are all in jail from this incident. They still don't really tell you what happened. They kind of glaze over it, and like it seems like something they'll get back to. But they're in jail for having a gun and attempt or whatever. And the things that Earn has to go through, waiting to just be processed, are absolutely hilarious. The way that Glover plays it, the people he puts in the scenario, it's phenomenal. It is hilarious on another level. It is a great in piece to the first episode. It gives you this great introduction to this whole Atlanta season and what it is. Probably one of the best things they have at the end is they do this thing where they Paperboy and Darius are basically out and Earn's still in, but they're hungry, so they go and pick up some wings. And the guy tells us, "Hey man, I got you that special sauce. I got that lemon pepper." And they kind of give like a Pulp Fiction moment in there. It was really dope. You can tell that Donald Glover and Stephen Glover are extreme movie nerds, buffs, anything. They reference a lot of different movies and things. They're very intelligent. They understand their writing. They understand the culture they're in, and they understand the people and everything around them. What is also amazing about the show is it's so deep. It's very deep. So then you got the third episode, which is Go for Broke. Keeps going down the fence. Honestly, for me, I felt like out of the 10 episodes that came out in season 1, episode 3 to me was my weakest. It does have a huge cameo by the Migos in it. I'm not going to ruin anything because I would love for you guys to watch it. But I just didn't feel like after the first 2, I felt like it was kind of a step back, and I kind of didn't know where the show was going. So this is the episode that I got kind of perplexed on. It has good funny elements. I just don't feel like when you're coming off those first 2, it doesn't have that same pull that the other ones have, but it definitely is entertaining. And then it really starts to get on a roll. The next one, you got the Streisand effect with some fun stuff, and Earn dealing with the date and just overall life. And then I feel like the show really takes it goes into a second gear when you get to episode 5, which is Nobody Beats the Beat. And the genius that they did in the writing in this. So basically, I'm just going to give you the premise. It's a charity basketball game. Paperboy has been asked to be put in this chariot basketball game that he's going to play in. And lo and behold, Bieber's going to be in it. They call it Bieber. So they kind of do this reverse psychology where they make this character Bieber a black man. And it is hilarious. And he acts basically like a young and immature Bieber. And I feel like he's got a way deeper meaning about just how the personification of the way that people are seen, where you have this rapper Paperboy who really isn't trying to cause any problems, and he's just there trying to be in this game and have fun, and he's considered the bad guy because he's the rapper from the streets, where you got Bieber who's literally acting like a fool the entire time there, and everyone is eating it up and thinks it's absolutely hilarious, and he's just acting absolutely out of his mind. You can tell the writing is smart there. It's one of the most inventive and smart episodes. It also has this great element where Earn is basically playing kind of like, he starts to act like he's the agent for Paperboy, and he meets up with this lady who kind of mistakes him for somebody else, and he ends up at this meeting where he meets all these people, and it's just fascinating to see how just because of your color of your skin and how you can get into certain things, because he would never have been let in, but because of this lady who was white let him in, and he easily scrolled in with no tickets, no nothing, and he got invited to this huge party. I mean, it's ingenious writing these guys that have. The next episode is Value. It's also a great episode, gets a lot deeper, but for me, the next couple ones was really hits its stride. The 7th episode is called B.A.N. It's this talk show where they have Paperboy going on this talk show, kind of like this round robin talk show where he's there to talk about how derogatory rap is towards women and how inoffensive that is. And then this show goes to another level. I mean, they added some elements into it that take it to another level. They have this caller call in who's having issues with his racial complexion and what he wants to be, and man, it is ingenious writing. This is a self-contained episode, and it is so funny. It is beyond hilarious how great it is. The next episode, you got the club. I feel like this is like the perfect episode for like just showing like the rap world and what it looks like when you're popping and you're out there at the club, because this is a great episode. So Paperboy gets booked to this club, not to perform, just to appear, and he's supposed to get a set of money just to be there and hanging out. But there's basically like gentlemen where they basically call him Future. I think it's Future who they're referencing, and he's basically a bigger rapper, and he's like outdoing Paperboy every chance he got, and Paperboy just having a horrible time at the club and is not having a good time, and he's trying to figure out how to get out of there, while at the same time Earn is trying to collect from the actual club owner. And it's just comical the way he keeps just the interaction between him and the club owner, how they keep going back and forth, is absolutely fascinating. This just an overall great episode. It has this great ending that gets me every single time at the end of the episode. I can't stop laughing every time I see it. It's fascinating. It's absolutely fascinating. It's definitely got some funny superhero elements mixed into this thing, and it's just a way extremely brilliant show. The next one you got June 10th. I'm sorry, June 10th, which is actually Emancipation Day, and me being from LA, I never knew anything like this, but I guess in the South they do celebrate this day, and it's a huge day. It's the Emancipation Proclamation, the signing of the emancipation that black people were no longer slaves, and that's a very strong day. And I get that in the South, and that's great that it's like that. But what he does is they go to this house of this very predominant family, and they're celebrating this day. Well, the wife is black, but the husband is actually white. And to watch the interaction between Darius and the husband, and Darius just feels like he's using his wife as like a cover to just be random and reckless, and how this man is using this great day and kind of just abusing it for his own pleasure, and just acting like he's cool. It definitely has some Get Out elements into it, where basically if you've seen Get Out, yeah, I would have voted for Obama a third time, kind of that same deal. Just a fascinating episode. Really gives you some real intel into the South that I really didn't know, and that's where I think I got a lot of learning out of that, is just how smart it was, and I never knew how important that day was down there, and I thought that was absolutely fascinating. And then the last episode is The Jacket. It's this great episode where Earn is looking for something he misplaced. He's looking for his jacket that he gave off, and basically him, Paperboy, and Darius went on this wild night to a strip club, and he's kind of recounting his steps, trying to figure out where his things go through different live videos and looking back through social media. It's got a little Hangover, little classic TV tropes where it goes back and forth. Absolutely fascinating. At the same time, you have Miss Van, ZZ Beats, getting her own little side story because she's a teacher and she's kind of going through some stuff. She has some great side things. Overall, the first season, to me, honestly, it's a 5 out of 5 total binge. This thing is amazing. I mean, this is one of the most well-written shows. I mean, he won an Emmy for best actor, and for he's phenomenal. I mean, Donald Glover kills it. His writing is great. I cannot wait for season 2. I read an article today in an interview where he said that basically if season 1 was late registration, that season 2 is going to be college dropouts. So if he's referencing Kanye and saying he's going to up his level, I cannot wait. It's called Robin season, but you guys need to take the due diligence. Hulu's got it now. FX has it. Go binge Atlanta. This is one of the smartest, most inventive shows out there. Donald Glover is a star. He's been doing this for a long time. He understands completely how the TV world works and how everything works, and he puts it so beautifully down in this show that it should be appreciated by all. So there you have it, folks. I honestly think this is a 5-day binge, maybe even a 4-day binge. You should watch 2 a day, if not 3 a day. Get them in. They're actually short episodes. They're not long. I did this. I rewatched the season, and I did it in a day. Yeah, I watched them all. What can I say? This thing was amazing. So I watched it again just to give me a refresher. It was only fun the second time around. You really got to see what he was going for in each episode, and how much ingenious they were putting in all of the writing that they did. So yeah. There you have it, folks. That's your totally binging Atlanta Season 1 recap. So make sure you guys come back and check it out, because we're going to go episode by episode. After every episode, we're going to break it down, kind of go over what he was going for, what maybe he was meaning by certain things, how he felt about the episode, and just kind of a general breakdown. So there you have it, folks. Season 1, Atlanta. Until next time, guys. Good night, Ted.